So on January 23rd, 2024, my husband had a sleeve surgery done. It's a surgery for weight loss, and he had the procedure done. And by 10 o'clock, he had finished the surgery, and I was waiting for him in the waiting room. And then he was transferred for the 5th floor in Billy Scott and White, Temple, Texas. So I waited him there. When he got there, he looked fine to me. But as soon as he was completely off the anesthesia, he's suffering a lot of pain. And he said it was like a knife in his stomach. And the nurses kept saying that he had gas, because when you have the sleeve done, they pump your abdomen with gas, some air, so they can see everything was going on. And then you have to make the way out of the gas. And then all day he had this pain, and then we tried to walk around and nothing happened. The nurses they're not nice. And then the shift changed, and then this Filipino guy came, and he was nice, but he wasn't aware that my husband was in pain for over 8 hours. So at some point he came over with a thing to put all over the waist to make the gas go away faster. And when we were trying to do that, my husband fainted, passed out, really yellow, had no color in his face or lips. So he started screaming. Then the rapid response came. They started trying to see if we can find to see about the blood pressure. They couldn't find anything over 50. And the normal is 112 or 113. So it was really, really, really low. It meant that he had internal bleeding. They took him right away to the ICU, and then I had along the way a chaplain with me, helping me with my stuff, and also emotionally. They admit him in the ICU. They did not allow me to stay in there, so they kicked me out. I stayed on a waiting room for about 30 minutes because they have to clean him and all that. So when I got in a waiting room, I realized how bad the situation was, because ICU is a big deal. So I started crying really hard. I cried a lot. But at the same time, I felt this peace that I could not understand. And it was a very stressful situation. And I felt like I was being taken care of, and I had nobody there. And then this old lady came. She was also there for some family member. And then she came with a tissue. She gave me the tissue, and then she hugged me, and then she stayed there with me for 40 minutes until the nurse came to say that I could go in the ICU. When I went to the ICU, his blood pressure was so low, he was about to have a heart attack. So rapid response came back and then did a blood transfusion. And what scared me was the nurses were holding the thing to do the resuscitation, and it scared me. But the chaplain was there the whole time, and he prayed for me, and I felt a little better. Throughout the night, the nurses were there all the time, checking on him and making sure that his diabetes were under control, because the problem was caused by high blood sugar. It was not under control. Um, the nurse and the doctors decided that he needed to go back to the OR because his blood pressure was really bad, and it meant like he had internal bleeding. 7 o'clock in the morning, the doctor came and it took him back to the OR. I gave her a hug and I prayed for her. I said a lot of words of blessing over her, and then she took him to the OR. An hour later, he was back and he was fine. We stayed there for another 2 days. But just wanted to say that I felt peace the whole time, even when I was feeling desperate, and I always had somebody to pray for me and support me. I had friends that stayed with me, and also the chaplain.